child in a glass coffin, eyelashes catching the light, and just for a heartbeat, the lids seem to drift downward. Did a mummy just blink, or did the room itself play a trick? Greetings, seekers of the strange. Welcome to Beyond Bizarre. I'm your host, taking you past normal, beyond weird, into the absolutely mind-blowing. Tonight we visit the Capuchin catacombs of Palermo to meet Rosalia Lombardo, the sleeping beauty, whose eyes appear to flutter on camera. By the end, you'll know who she was, why her face looks heartbreakingly alive, and the precise, non-mystical reason the world swears she blinks, even though she doesn't. Rosalia was a little Sicilian girl who died in 1920, just under 2 years old. Her father, shattered by grief, sought the era's most skilled embalmer to preserve her as she was in life. Cheeks soft, lips calm, lashes resting on porcelain skin. The result was so lifelike that visitors later nicknamed her Sleeping Beauty. For a century she lay beneath Palermo, surrounded by thousands of mummified bodies, monks, nobles, merchants, yet none felt as present as Rosalia. Decades passed, then the internet arrived. Tour photos, time-lapse clips, caught-on-camera thumbnails. And the rumor bloomed. She blinks. First, what people actually see. In many photos, Rosalia's eyelids appear mostly closed, only a sliver of the lash line showing. In others, a dark crescent seems to open at the inner corner, as if an eye has half opened. Side-by-side images make it look dramatic. Shut, then slightly open, then shut again. Visitors swear they watched her lids move over minutes. But step closer. There's no muscle motion, no twitch, no start-to-finish blink. Instead, you're watching shadows migrate across a tiny, partially open eyelid. Shadows cast by changing daylight, glass reflections, and the angle of a camera lens. Here's how the illusion works. Rosalia lies in a sealed glass case under dim, carefully controlled light. Her eyelids were never sewn fully shut. They rest in a partially closed position, leaving a thin gap. Beneath that gap are the glossy surfaces of preserved ocular tissue and the dark hollows behind the orbit. As the day shifts, even a cloud passing a skylight, even a tourist stepping aside, the angle of light changes. Brightness slips from the brow to the lash to the inner corner, turning that tiny gap from golden to shadowed to black. To the human brain, a darkening arc under an eyelid reads as an eye opening. Add phone cameras that auto-expose and autofocus from shot to shot, and a time-lapse exaggerates the effect. What looks like movement is really parallax and lighting, the same trick that makes portraits seem to watch you across a room. Another ingredient: preservation done too well. Rosalia's skin retained contour, her lashes remained. Her features never collapsed into the slack anonymity of most mummies. So when light plays across that face, our brains expect life, and they supply it. Humans are wired to detect eyes and micro-expressions. Give us lashes, a lid crease, and shifting shadows, and we'll swear we saw a blink. It's a kind of gentle pareidolia, not faces in clouds, but life in stillness. You may have heard another explanation, that temperature or humidity makes the lids physically move. In older, unsealed displays, slight shifting could happen as tissues desiccated, millimeters over years, not seconds. Today, Rosalia rests in a modern case designed to stabilize her environment. The motion people think they catch is almost always optical, not mechanical. No invisible hand nudges an eyelid. No hidden mechanism, just glass, light, and us. So why is Rosalia so intact when others crumble? Credit the embalmer her father hired, Alfredo Salafia, a Sicilian master who used a then-advanced, now-famous cocktail. In 2009, researchers tracked down Salafia's living relatives and discovered his secret formula in handwritten notes. The solution was ingenious. Formalin halted bacterial decay, Alcohol gently dried tissues. Glycerin kept them from becoming brittle. Salicylic acid discouraged fungi, and crucially, zinc salts added structure, fixing tiny proteins and lending a subtle firmness to delicate features. That meant lashes, lids, and lips could hold shape for a very long time. Combine that with Palermo's catacomb environment and careful caretaking, and you get a preservation so delicate that a century later she still looks like a sleeping child. Beautiful, unnerving, and tragically powerful. There's also the story of her display. In the 2000s, conservators moved Rosalia into a new, tighter sealed glass coffin to protect her from moisture and microbes. That change did two things. It improved preservation, and it altered how light reaches her face. The new angles, reflections, and controlled illuminance actually increase the blink illusion in photographs, because the small eyelid gap reads differently under each viewing condition. Stand a little left, open. Lean a little right, closed. Take two photos a few hours apart, and your camera's metering makes the tiny gap look like a dramatic wink. It's unsettling because everything else, the skin tone, the lips, the lashes, looks so alive. Our storytelling brains knit the rest. She moved. This is the moment to say it outright. Rosalia does not blink. The illusion is strong, but the physiology is silent. No muscle contracts, no eyelid cycles. What is real is the ache she carries, an entire century of strangers looking in and seeing both death and life at once. That tension fuels legends. The debunk doesn't erase the awe. If anything, it deepens it. The fact that light, glass, and human perception can conjure something so intimate, a child's eyelid moving, is its own haunting. Let's set the record straight. Rosalia's nickname, Sleeping Beauty, isn't poetic marketing. Visitors coined it because her face looks peacefully asleep, not desiccated. The Capuchin catacombs hold thousands of mummified bodies, many naturally dried by airflow. Rosalia is one of the last interred there, and among the most chemically preserved. Claims that hair and nails keep growing on mummies are illusions. Skin shrinks and pulls back, making nails and hair look longer. Photographs taken hours apart can appear wildly different. If you overlay them, the motion aligns with shadow lines, not with muscular change. Standing before her glass cradle, you understand why the myth endures. We don't just see a mummy, we see a father's last plea to stop time, and an artisan's uncanny success. The forest of Palermo's dead is full of history, but Rosalia is full of presence. She reminds us that the line between living and still can be so delicate that light itself can cross it. The real mystery isn't whether Rosalia blinks, it's why we need her to. In our hunger to find life in stillness, perhaps we're seeing something true about ourselves, that love doesn't end with death, and that sometimes the most powerful illusions are the ones that make us believe in forever. And that's another journey, beyond bizarre. If your mind is officially blown, smash that subscribe button because we're just getting started. Until next time, keep pushing beyond the ordinary.